Alright, let me just tell y'all about real quick. You see, our will to survive is fueled by our desires. Our desires is also fueled by our attitudes. So if I gave you multiple options of choices, it depends on the attitude you're in, and then you're going to make the choice of your desire by there, and the compulsion will make you want to keep following it. So it will be a habitual cycle now once desire is locked in. So you will see yourself repeating a repetitive cycle of this desire and what will eventually become a comfort zone. This comfort zone now, you don't really have to be conscious of what you're doing anymore. It's like an auto system that you're in autopilot while you're probably in another dimension doing other things. Time goes on, time goes on. Eventually, something goes wrong and you have to come back to the body and see what's going on. In it now, you're going to see that you don't like what's going on anymore. Your shape changed. You have habits that you picked up that you didn't like. So all of a sudden now, it's like another perspective of you come in, another spirit. This time now, it makes want changes. It's not happy no more. It's not ready to eject. It's conscious now of what's going on. So it start reconfiguring, start gathering information, isolating itself so that it can reprogram the computer system of the matrix mind. And then it starts now allowing the mind and the body to re-interact with the environment. You see, you have two choices in life. It's either an outside force that's influencing you, or an inside force that's influencing you. Which force is influencing you? Think about it. The outside force is something that's going to compel you to have a thought, an idea. And then those ideas now become future desires and things that you work on. The law of attraction start coming in now. You will it into your real reality. You will it in as a thought because thoughts are astral, meaning they're not a physical thing, but they do have an actual form to them called an essence. You know, it's what we call an elemental. Consider thought one of the four elements. So now thought is in a plane of its own that you cannot see with the visible eye because the visible eye only sees 0.2% of 100% matter. So we're literally blind as what you can see, and you think you're seeing a lot. But cats and animals see way more than we see. So now thoughts is on the astral plane, and that's a world of creation, imagination. This is where everything is at, because at one time, our creator, or the so-called one y'all call God, created in the beginning. What he created was what he is and what's inside of his mind. Those is the creatures, the stuff that you see from Homer Odyssey, the stuff you hear from the Sumerians that half animals, half beasts, all these things. All of them is real, but very intellectual, way more than advanced than you could think, but look very, not just say primitive, but will be advanced because that's how the future people is going to look. You're going to be a mix of everything because that's how the system works. First came one, then one made two, then two made three. So you can't say you didn't come from a creature or an animal. All of us came from animal. I don't care if you got no Neanderthal DNA and all that shit. That's pseudo talk. Go look at your ancestors' pictures. Go look at your ancestors' shields, African shields. You will see they come from animals. All of us come from animals. The Dogon said they come from the hyena. The Zulu, they say they come from the Chitaru or whatever it is. Same reptile being. All the Indians come from serpents. The Egyptians come from the dragon. Yes, you got to be realistic. We come from animals and creatures. All that talk that they tell you about is not true. Don't believe all that pseudo scientific stuff that Newton, Galileo, and Copernicus made up. All of that, we live off of them, follow with now Pythagorean and all these stuff. But if you look into them, they all got their information from Egypt, fresh out of Egypt. Egypt is the light of the world. But you're dealing with people who misunderstood the information, or some of them knew the truth and they concealed it in places such as under the Vatican, the Smithsonian Institute, and then use it against the general public as occult information. And so we get now what's called the priests that give us our religions, and we're afraid because the religion tells us not to mess with it or it's evil. So when you see all these things or experience them, you feel that they're evil and you won't mess with it. So now you're denied a rite of passage into your spiritual realm or the astral realm. So what happens is what's in your conscious mind is all it is. So in the conscious mind, it's called the tree of life. You cycle on a 24-hour circadian rhythm. It goes with the flow of the sun. So as the sun goes around by the hour, you exhibit different things from your different vitamins, your melatonin, your serotonin, your vitamin D, calcium, everything that you need during the course of the day is provided during different hours of the sunlight. Each field that goes through is a dimension of where entities live, and they the one who is actually on your bodies, laying there like zombies or on tombs, and they get the nutrients and then they re-heal back your body. It's called your magnetic field. That's the general term they use. So energy comes to your magnetic field. The magnetic field got, every cell got magnetic field around it. It goes down into there and they heal themselves. Magicians know how to channel these spirits that's on your body, and this is where you get your goatee and you got all the different demons from the necromancy time and everything. Speaking of necromancy, let me make that clear. Necromancy is the art of bringing somebody back to life. Everybody did it back in the days. It's just out of history. So all that raising things from the dead, that was normal. It's hard for a person to die. And the literal term that they say is that when a person dies, you're supposed to wait at least 1 month before you bury them, when their body starts to decay. Because some of them didn't die, they just left their body for a little while and it's coming back. Death is when the body decays, not when it's not moving or breathing. That's why the hospital is killing y'all peoples and y'all families, and y'all don't know it, because they come back, like they say, it's an old saying in Christian religion that is funny, you don't catch it. When they say that the man leaves his house and he come back and it's ransacked, that's what it means. It means that the soul left for a while and they come back and they bury the body, or they open up the man operating on him and fuck them up. Now he can't come back because you can't die. But they don't give people a chance. If you look into necromancy, you see that it's a whole science of it, and it gets deep. I don't want to get too much into it, but I just want you to know available information that's here for us. Now, it was something else I wanted to build on, because you know, this is really about the Egyptians and the coming in today whole thing. 1 second. You see, with the Egyptians now, being that they was offering everybody to come in today rituals as initiation, it was a reason for it, which was an awakening from our more demonic side. We look at your demonic side not just in a demonic way as how we see demons today, because there's no really such thing. The Christian made it up, but it got a very good tone to it, because in you have two natures, two sides, you know, which one would be good and one would be bad. So in life you have what's called two demions. Demions will be a good form of what they call a demon, or what they originally was, which is like a higher being. A demion is neither good or bad, but now they word it as a demon since the Catholic churches and the Christians came along. And since they name it now a demon, I could now polarize the same thing. So polarizing it, I could say, you know, when you act fucked up and in your lower self, you acting it out as the demon. That's what that side of the demion will be. And then when you act benevolent or do good things, you know, really that's what they are, benevolent beings. When you act out good, then you're able to bring out that, what I don't say angels. Angels are separate beings. You bring out the demion in yourself. Demions is higher than angels. Demions is like you would say, if it was a hierarchy of thing, if they right there with the most high, you would classify them either Metatron or Raphael. Those are the right hands and left hands, or the two pillars. You know what I'm saying? So basically that's what a demion is. Now an angel is what you would call a planetary body that has an ethereal spirit and soul to it. It's a guardian over here, over these planets, and it's also the parents of what's called the demons. The demons now is the ones that's right here in between us. They're the messengers. That's what you see when you see little things in the side of your eyes and reflection. They interact with you. They're neither good nor bad. They punish people and they reward people. You understand? They give you what's called karma and karma. It's both of them the opposite of one thing. But that's what I'm here to try to teach you about desires. Desires has consequences which bring about karma and take you out of the state of karma, K-A-M-A, which is enlightened. And if you don't have enlightenment only, you always living in the world of cause and effect, which is what they want for you. They set everything up so that you could stay at a low vibrating frequency. These things has been taken out of writing, out of society, so that we won't know these truths, and we live in a confused world where they feed us pharmaceutical drug, put us in mental institute, and they always having some type of system to make you feel like you're less than them, when you're really more powerful than them, more smarter than them, and deserve to be in a higher position of royalty, while they deserve to be a pawn of being a lazy self to their own nature, a devil to their own self, because they're not harming us. Regardless, we're going to come up and rise, because information is in the Akashic records. Once we learn to go within, the same information available to them is the same information available to us. It's up to you and your will now to go out and do something with it. So I'm here to pass all of this knowledge on so you have a greater understanding of what's going on and how the Bible is set up in a way to empower those that know what's going on between their generations and their generations, but also keep us in an ignorant state. You know, the knowledge itself, I'm not gonna get into the book itself, because I read the whole book. The whole book, I read it, and I didn't find no significance in it. Maybe it's an inner thing or something, I don't know. But anyways, the thing to it that is the real truth of the matter is that it is an Egyptian book. It's Coptic. You know, when you're talking Coptic, you're talking now the Gnostics. The Gnostics is the one who made up all this information out here that we're using, you know, which is Egyptians. You know, these is the Kemetic line of the Egyptian. Those is the priest line, because you got two lines. You got the demonic now. The demonic, you know, they ain't gonna give you that information or anything, but that's what mostly you see the pictures is of the demonic time. But you don't see the Coptic pictures, but you get the Coptic writing. They put the Coptic writing with the demonic pictures. Demonic is not a language. Demonic is a sound. It's like you're doing a mantra to the hieroglyph, or what's called the picture glyph. You look at it and you will do a mantra to it, and it's vibrate. It's really literally a memory stick that activates from sound and magnetics, and that's how that works. All that, when they're making those pictures, letters, and telling you all this information about it, that's false. That's why they try to tell you it's a confusion if the Meta Neter not been deciphered. It been deciphered a long time ago. Look into Athena's Ketcher books. All his books, it break down the science of Egypt and show you what the pyramid do, what the Sphinx do. I'm not talking about just images and things. He give you science, what it does, everything, the inner world, the outer world, the astral world, what's in the sun, what's in there, all this. A man cannot have said that he tried to interpret the Egyptian writing, and they got him written in Wikipedia that he didn't do it, he attempted, but what he said was nonsense. And then later on, he goes on to be called the smartest man in the world and wrote brilliant books and science on Egypt that is only in German and French, so you don't get to understand it. But you see, the thing is, what he got in the book would be considered heretic. It would be magic, witchcraft, and that's what this world is built up on. When you look at it, you know, it says that God gave his only begotten son for us. That's a sacrifice. That's a blood sacrifice. Everything came from a sacrifice. So they tell you that he sacrificed himself in the beginning. Everything that we do is a blood sacrifice, because it's all witchcraft. Once you wake up and realize you're living in a natural world of natural magic, you will harness the powers of your magnetic field, or what's called the Merkaba. You have to get into your Merkaba now, and if you will do that, you will understand more. Anyways, this video getting too long. University of Conscious Science. One love.